Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Redberry Gymnasium. Welcome to the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week on BDN Maine. Jim Churchill along with Ernie Clark from the Bangor Daily News. Good matchup here tonight. Number 4 against number 7 in Eastern Maine Class A boys. The Bangor Rams, the number 4 seed, they're 11-4. And the Mount Ararat team, they come in with a record of 7-8. Let's start with that Mount Ararat team, Ernie. That 7-8 record, a little bit deceptive as they have victories over the number 2 team in Eastern Maine Class A boys, the number 3 team, the number 5 team, and the number 6 team. And their average margin in their losses outside of the game against the Hamden Academy Broncos, just 4 points. So a very competitive team.
Yeah, everybody's allowed a mulligan with Hamden so far this season, but you're absolutely right. They're 7-8, but a lot of close losses. Having said that, they are in position to finish as high as 2nd in Eastern Maine Class A if they can finish off their schedule with the 3 wins in the games that they have remaining, and more likely, given the balance between 2 and 9 in Eastern A, they might win 2 out of 3. That would still put them in solid 4, 5, or 6 positions. So Aaron Watson, the head coach of the Eagles, really looking forward to the end of the season. And tonight's game, a great opportunity for them to further cement a higher seeding than they already have, because Bangor certainly, with 11 wins, a point-worthy team. And
they have a pretty good sophomore, Shai Ulrichsen, averaging about 18 points per game. We'll talk more about him as we move on in this broadcast. Well, the Bangor Rams, the homestanding Rams here tonight, their machine running pretty well right now. A 6-game win streak, 11-4, number 4 in Eastern Maine Class A. Outside of their losses to Hamden again, they have a 1-point loss and a 2-point loss. Coach Ed Catala has his team playing some pretty good basketball in spite of some injuries.
Yeah, 2-point loss to Messalonski at Messalonski and a 1-point loss at the buzzer to Lawrence, the only blemishes on Bangor's record other than 2 losses to Hamden Academy. Good senior leadership from the likes of the guard tandem of Alex Campbell and Xavier Lewis and Connor Adams at center. Those 3 are the key cogs for the Rams so far this season. In Campbell and Lewis, Bangor perhaps the best offensive backcourt in Eastern Maine. An argument to be made overall about backcourt from Hamden with Nick Gilpin and Cam Scott, but certainly Campbell and Lewis leading the way. And then Connor Adams, somebody very dangerous, not so much in the low post necessarily, but in filling the lanes on the fast break. He is scoring a lot of his points in recent games, just getting out on the fast break and taking those feeds from Campbell and Lewis and converting layups. And, we mentioned with Mount Ararat, the tight race in Eastern Maine Class A, and Bangor right now in 4th place certainly has the opportunity with games left against Mount Ararat tonight and Brewer and Lawrence next week to move up as high as 2nd before it's all over.
All right, should be a good one here tonight at Redberry Gym. We are looking forward to it. It's the Rams and the Eagles. It's coming up in just a few moments. But first, next up in the pregame show, which is brought to you by Greenway Equipment, we're going to have the coaches' interviews. We'll talk with Ed Catala and Aaron Watson next. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
It doesn't matter if your tractor is colored red, blue, or green. At Greenway Equipment Sales, we have all the attachments to fit your machine, no matter what brand or model of compact tractor you drive.
Tillers, tippers, rotary cutters, loaders, backhoes.
Quality implements from the most respected names in the business. When you need to get the job done, no matter what your tractor color, see the boys in green and yellow at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
We are back here at Redberry Gymnasium. Coming up, we've got the coaches' interviews. First, we want to tell you the pregame show is brought to you by Greenway Equipment. For John Deere sales and service, it's Greenway Equipment with 2 locations in Bangor and Ellsworth. Check out the website at greenwayequipment.com and be sure to visit the Greenway Equipment Facebook page. Nothing runs like a Deere. Well, it is the Mount Ararat Eagles against the Bangor Rams here tonight in Bangor. Time now for the coaches' interviews prior to tonight's game. And we start with Aaron Watson of Mount Ararat.
Well, let's get the lowdown on the Mount Ararat team that you lead here, Coach. 7-8 record, but looking over your schedule, that record's a little deceptive. Outside of the Hamden game, which they're beating up on everybody, you've been in every ball game.
Yeah, we've been in every ball game. We haven't blown anybody out. We're not going to get blown out. We like to try and keep the scores low, although the last 3 or 4 games we've scored quite a few points. We've beaten everybody above us with the exception of Hamden and Bangor. We have the opportunity to do that tonight. So as all the coaches have said, throw 2 through 10 in a hat, shake them up, and really anybody can beat anybody. So it's been a great year so far. I know that we're under 500, but we feel we've got experience, we've played well, and we've got a shot to beat anybody.
Obviously a big chance here tonight to pick up some heel point standings and solidify your playoff position. Let's talk about your team. I know it's not a one-man team, but a lot of attention going to your super sophomore.
Shai is an incredible player. He's one of the top players in the state. If you take him out of the game, we've got other guys, and teams have done that. They've successfully done some things that have frustrated him and agitated him at times, but our other kids have stepped up, and hopefully we're prepared if that were to happen again, that our kids are ready to step up again. But Shai makes everybody better on the court around him, and our other kids really respond to that. And he's a great kid, high honor roll student, sweeps the court before practice every single day. He's in the weight room every morning, just a hard-working kid.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight.
Excellent, thank you.
That's head coach Aaron Watson of the Mount Ararat Eagles, again 7-8. This is Coach Watson's 11th year, his 18th overall, formerly coached at Orono High School.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of refereeing some of his junior varsity games back in the day, and our relationship is much better now.
Well, words around about your officiating days. That's why you're up here with me.
Exactly. I wasn't assigning blame to either him or me. It just was the nature of the
I'm
relationship.
assigning blame to you. No doubt about it. All right, so we've heard from the coach of the Mount Ararat Eagles. Now let's check in with Ed Cotella, head man for the Bangor Rams.
Well, Coach, riding a 6-game win streak, every coach wants to be playing the best basketball towards the end of the year. How close do you think you are?
Pretty close. We've had to absorb some injuries. Hunter Boyce rolled his ankle pretty good here, unfortunately, against Brewer, but we think we'll have him back next week. Garrett Johnson broke his hand back in the Hamden game, got a good report today, so we may actually even see him back in uniform, which would be tremendous. So we've absorbed some hits that way, but I think the constant through the streak has been defense. We've defended even on the nights that we haven't scored the way we might like to.
And when you talk about offense, the big three, obviously, Campbell and Lewis and Adams, they've been pretty solid all year long.
Very consistent. We've got consistent play from those three. They've been solid. Connor obviously gives us an inside presence that opens up things on the perimeter. But we've also, we've had different guys also off our bench. I thought against Brewer in particular, we had some guys come in, Hunter Boyce being one of them, and knock down some threes in a rivalry game. And so we've got some support from other places too.
And finally, this Mount Ararat team, 7-8, but that record's a little deceiving.
It is a little deceptive. They're playing very well right now. I had a chance to see them play at Coney, a game that went right down to the end. It was a 7-point win for Coney, but that was a little deceptive. It was senior night. Coney played very well, and shot it well, and they were right there till the end. And so they're a team that they can go on runs, and so you've got to try to contain them. They had a big one against the L here the week before last, in which Shai Yerlickson dropped 44 on them. So they're an explosive team, and it'll be a real test for our defense.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
So we'll actually zip back here at Redberry Gym. We've heard from the coaches, and now let's check in on the starting lineups here tonight in this ball game between Bangor and Mount Ararat. We'll start with the Mount Ararat Eagles. Ernie Clark will run down the starters.
Shai Ellickson starting at 1 guard. Jake Demosthenes starting at a guard as well. Mike Crawford, a 5'10" guard. Mason Griffin, 6'2", and a junior at forward. And Kevin Carter, he is a 6'3" forward for Coach Aaron Watson's Mount Ararat Eagles.
Our starting lineups brought to you by Sergeant Tyler and West. Let's get the lineup here tonight for Ed Cotella.
And for Bangor, fairly regular lineup of late. Alex Campbell and Xavier Lewis, both at guard, both the seniors. Justin Smith, a sophomore at forward. Andrew Hillier at the other forward. He's a junior. And senior Connor Adams at center for Coach Ed Cotella's club.
All right, there you have the Sergeant Tyler and West starting lineups. And we get set for this matchup here tonight between the Mount Ararat Eagles, 7-8, number 7 currently in Eastern Maine. They faced the Rams earlier this year. That was a win for Bangor. The Rams have won 6 straight coming into this one. suffered another injury recently as Hunter Boyce injured along with Garrett Johnson. So those two seniors out of the lineup here tonight for Coach Ed Catala, but he is hopeful to get both of those players back possibly before the Rams are done here in this 2013-2014 season.
Boyce newly injured. He's been playing recently. Garrett Johnson has been out with a broken hand for probably 2 or 3 weeks now. Injured that during a loss to Hamden, actually Bangor's last defeat, despite the fact that he hit 4 3-pointers with a broken hand. Pretty impressive.
He did it with the broken hand?
He did it after he had broken the hand in that game. Came out, I believe, in the third quarter and hit 2 from each quarter in a short period of time, but once it started to hurt, it didn't stop, and it was an injury.
All right, well, let's take another timeout here in the pregame show. When we come back, we'll have the opening tip between the Rams and the Eagles here tonight in Bangor. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
White Sporting Goods doesn't just help sports teams look their best. We help give businesses a professional edge when promoting themselves. Make your business and staff members stand out with our in-house screen printing and embroidery services. And nothing stands out more than your logo, business name, or slogan on a unique promotional item. White Sporting Goods can help your business stand out and get noticed. I'm Christy with White Sporting Goods. Call me today and I'll help your business look its best.
Welcome back to Redberry Gymnasium. Jim Churchill along with Ernie Clark from the Bangor Daily News. Great to have you with us here for the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week at BDN Maine. Good look at the floor and the crowd here at Redberry Gym tonight, as two teams jockeying for position in Eastern Maine Class A boys. Each team with 3 games left on the schedule, and a big game here tonight. Again, both teams looking to solidify their position and secondarily looking to avoid Hamden down the road if they can.
Yeah, the ideal world for either one of these teams
keep them at bay as long as they can.
Is to finish second or third, or 6th and 7th. Not get into that 4 or 5 bracket if you can avoid it.
Big Mason Griffin wins the tip for Mount Ararat. He's looking for an entry pass, gets it, turns around, faces up against Smith. Nothing going there, so he kicks it back out top to Mike Crawford. Here's Shai Ulrichsen. He's talking Eastern Maine boys basketball, and the sophomore picks up 2 right there. Had 44 against Edward Little in a recent ball game.
Yeah, you can see that quick first step he had off the dribble, getting the ball near the top of the key and getting got by a pretty good defender in Alex Campbell. And Mount Ararat with the early lead, now sitting in a 2-3 zone against Bangor's offense.
Xavier Lewis with it on the far side, right in front of Coach Aaron Watson for Mount Ararat. Alex Campbell zips it on the left side to Hillier. Skip pass. Here's a 3 by Lewis off the back of the rim. No good, and Griffin with the rebound. 7-8 the record for Coach Watson's Eagles. And here's Shai Ulrichsen firing up a 3. That's off the mark, no good. And the rebound down to Smith. Here comes Campbell for Bangor. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Adams near the free throw line. Now gets it back on the far side. Comes to Hillier on the near side, and he's going to drive the left baseline, step on the end line. And that turnover will give it back to Mount Ararat.
Both coaches concerned about transition defense. As you see, Ulrichsen drive to the basket for the only points of the game so far. Both teams capable of getting out on the break. Bangor, we mentioned in the pregame, with Connor Adams, the center, getting out to finish off plays, and then Erickson capable of making a lot of things happen once he gets the ball after a rebound.
Excuse me, Ernie. Hillier strips Griffin there. Bangor comes away with it. Here's Lewis with it. Again, Bangor can certainly fire up the threes. Lewis misses it there. Ulrichsen can't get it to go. Good challenge there by Connor Adams, getting back to defend. Now Connor gets it at the offensive end, and he lays it up and in. Great sequence there by Adams.
Yeah, but we talk about him getting from one end of the court to the other. There was off a turnover, a missed shot. Was able to be the first one down the court to fill the lane and make the layup.
Here's Ulrichsen, a long 3. That's off the mark, no good. Trying to save it in, and successful is Kevin Carter, but he saves it right into Bangor. Campbell, a 3 is up and a 3 is off. No good. Nice job there, boxing out by Carter as he comes away with a defensive board. 2-2 in the early going here. 2.5 minutes into this ball game. Carter spinning in the lane, facing up against Adams. Shot up, no good, and the rebound down to Smith. Here come the Rams, driving the right side. Lewis, finger roll, leaves it short, but a foul here against the Eagles.
Bangor looking to get as much easy offense as they can with Mount Ararat in the zone. So off the defensive rebound by Justin Smith, Bangor out and running, and Xavier Lewis filling the lane, and the tap on the arm by Mason Griffin resulted in his first foul of the contest.
Lewis at the line, makes the first of 2. Two officials in this one tonight, Jeff Paul and Hawk Anderson. Lewis 2 for 2 at the line. Bangor with the lead. Mount Ararat with the basketball. Falling to the floor is Crawford, finds Ulrichsen. Shy, bounce pass on the baseline. Here's a feed to Carter. Nice job there with the left hand. Nice feed by Jake Demosthenes. I got to think Greek.
A couple of good interior passes. The first one, a bounce pass through traffic by Ulrichsen to Demosthenes, and then a wraparound pass to number 32, Kevin Carter, for the layup. So good interior passing ties this game at 4.
4.5 left, as you can see on our BDN main scoreboard, the lower part of your screen. Bangor with the basketball. Campbell thought about the 3, now puts it to the floor, takes it to the far corner. Smith out near midcourt. Ulrichsen almost picked that off. He would have been off to the races. Campbell a 3 from the right side, no good. Offensive board. Lewis, the putback is up, no good. And he misses again, but on the far side. Who was that, Smith or
that was
Campbell?
Campbell, I believe.
Alex Campbell right there with Justin Smith. But it was Campbell putting it home, and Bangor up by 2.
Good work on the offensive boards by Bangor. One thing about the 2-3 zone is Campbell misses the 3-point attempt. Lewis with one try, and then another try, and then finally on the weak side, Campbell with the tip in. The 2-3 zone by Mount Ararat is focusing on the perimeter shooters for Bangor, because Bangor is known as a 3-point shooting club. So that's going to leave some opportunities underneath where Bangor may have a numbers game in terms of getting offensive rebound against the 1 or 2 defenders from Mount Ararat that are underneath trying to grab defensive boards.
Crawford to the free throw line, high to Griffin. Here's Ulrichsen. Griffin ends up with it, loses it to Campbell, and the Rams on the move once again. They lead it by 2. Here's Hillier spotting up for 3. It's off, no good. Off the glass, and the rebound to Ulrichsen. Tries to get it ahead to Griffin, but he can't track it down, and Mount Ararat will give it right back to Bangor.
Third turnover of the game for Mount Ararat there. Pass a little bit too long off the hands of Ulrichsen, and Bangor now setting up the half-court set.
Approaching the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. Lewis takes the lane, goes to Hillier near corner. Back out high, and the shot missed there by Kenny. Had another opportunity, couldn't get that one to go down, and Mount Ararat pushing it up the floor. They look inside for Carter, and a disconnection there. Is that again it goes across the end line, and Bangor will have it. Kind of sloppy here in this first quarter.
That's 3 turnovers in as many possessions for the Eagles there, not necessarily due to Bangor's defense.
On the left wing, Lewis surveying the situation, finds Adams. He turns, faces the basket, gives off to Lewis. Lewis drives, pull-up jumper, left side, leaves it short. And a loose ball. Bangor had it momentarily, and Adams will save it near midcourt. Good hustle there by Connor Adams. Well, advantage here for Bangor. Can they take advantage? Hillier wide open 3, and that's off, no good. And that one goes directly out of bounds, so Mount Ararat will have the basketball. So a lot of turnovers and a lot of missed shots through the first almost 6 minutes in this one.
Yeah, good ball movement around the zone by Bangor. They got an open look, just nothing to show for it. Yeah, when the ball doesn't go in the basket, it makes for a sloppy game, and that's what we've got so far.
Here's Ulrichsen, had the first basket in the ball game. Hasn't scored since. His team down by 2. Very low scoring first quarter. Crawford, 2 10s matching up there, Crawford and Campbell. Inside they go to Carter, very short interior pass and a block by Kenny. And then Griffin loses control of the basketball out of bounds. And nice job defensively there by Trey Kenny.
Yeah, a lot of bodies in the paint at that point as Carter had the ball in the lane and was trying 2 or 3 times to get himself into position to shoot before the pass that resulted in the block.
Ben Hughes into the ball game for Bangor. So it's Hughes, Campbell, Adams, Lewis, and Kenny out there for Coach Ed Catala. And Campbell loses the dribble, goes into backcourt, touched by Lewis. And that'll be a violation on the Rams.
Ararat changed up the defense there, went with a little half-court trap, took Bangor by surprise, and forced Bangor's 3rd turnover of the game.
In for Mount A now, Jordan Castonguay. He's going to put the ball in play from the near sideline. Gets it into Ulrichsen. His shot is up and good. A 3-ball there from Shai Ulrichsen.
Ulrichsen showing his range there. This hasn't been his game yet because really not a lot of fast break opportunities for the Eagles, but that time just got the ball 20 feet away from the basket and shot.
Campbell's shot inside the arc, no good. Ulrichsen, the push up ahead, and the shot in and out, no good. A miss there by Alex LaFountain. He's into the ball game for Griffin, and you can see Ulrichsen. He likes to push that ball up the floor. He can score some points. We know that, averaging about 18 coming in, but you can see he can also distribute the basketball as well.
Yeah, great pass there. It just didn't get the finish.
And he almost steals this one.
Bangor looking at this point to play for the last shot of the quarter. Started that possession with about 40 seconds left, 45, and down to 29.1. We'll see if they continue to play for one.
Here's Campbell with it, backing it out near midcourt. Good look at the guard there for the Rams as the seconds tick off the clock. He's guarded by Castonguay.
Man-to-man now by Messalonsky. Mount Ararat. Same colors in Messalonsky.
That's right. Both Eagles, too. Here's Lewis to the lane. The shot up, no good, but a foul against Mount Ararat. And Xavier Lewis will be at the line for a couple. We mentioned Bangor's 6-game win streak. Coach Ed Catala saying his team is close to playing their best basketball of the year. Saw the 3 there by Shai Ulrichsen. So we've seen him drive to the basket to pick up 2 points. We saw the long 3 there, showing his versatility on the offensive end of things. Lewis missed the first, and he gets the second. And we are tied at 7. 4 seconds. Ulrichsen to midcourt. 2 seconds. Pull up. 3 is off. No good. And the first quarter has come to a conclusion. A very low-scoring first quarter. Sloppy by both teams, but very competitive. We head to quarter number 2. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
Your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life. Hiring a professional videographer with an eye for detail will capture all of the emotion of the day, your special moments, and precious memories from start to finish.
Back at Bangor High School, Jim Churchill along with Ernie Clark from the Bangor Daily News. Great to have you with us for this one on BDN Maine. These games are also replayed on TWC TV. Our game here tonight brought to you in part by Sergeant Tyler & West. Sergeant Tyler & West has been providing insurance coverage for individuals and business owners across the state of Maine since 1869. Call 992-5200 or visit stwinsurance.com. For all your insurance needs, it's Sergeant Tyler & West. The coverage you need, the service you deserve.
Both teams struggling offensively, as you mentioned here in the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, tied at 7. Bangor just 2 of 13 from the field over the first 8 minutes, and Mount Ararat a robust 3 for 10 by comparison. So not a lot of shots falling yet.
By comparison. Underway here in quarter number 2. Bangor will have the basketball. Mount Ararat in that 2-3 zone. Bangor JV team won here tonight over Mount A. Hughes, skip pass on the near side to Campbell. Good look from our high camera here at Redberry Gym. Lewis to the lane, floater up, off, no good. Tussle for the rebound between LaFountain and Kenny, and a tie-up, and the arrow will give it to Mount A.
Lewis got into the lane, just didn't go all the way to the basket, tried to float a 6-footer. Those are pretty tough shots.
Acrobatic shot here by Ulrichsen. That's short, and the rebound down to Hughes. Pull-up jumper at the free throw line by Lewis. He'll hit this one, and Bangor back on top. Ulrichsen, boy, he can handle that basketball. Took that ball behind his back like it was a feather. Inside they go to LaFountain. Nice job there by Adams stepping into the passing lane. Rams take it away. Pull-up jumper just beyond the free throw line. It's good by Campbell, and Aaron Watson wants a timeout.
Couple of baskets here off transition by the Rams. A Connor Adams steal setting up this 15-footer by Alex Campbell. Bangor with a couple of easy offensive opportunities that they capitalize on. Suddenly they're out to an 11-7 lead. And that's what both teams are kind of looking for. Here's Xavier Lewis on the play before, pulling up from almost the exact same spot on the fast break and nothing but net. Moving out 15 feet, creating a little bit more open space for himself, and cashed in on that opportunity after finding the going tough nearer to the basket early on.
And I think the point you made in the pregame show about Connor Adams, not really a post-up big guy, but he can certainly move around the floor, both on the offensive end, filling those lanes during the Rams' fast breaks, and he's very active defensively as well.
Yeah, he's quick more than he is tall.
Jumps out to challenge a shot there by LaFountain. He missed the shot, did number 55 from Mount A. Bangor with the rebound. Campbell trots it up into the corner for Lewis. Drives the left baseline. Across the lane to Adams. Kick out to Campbell. Now they go back inside to Lewis. He's got some space, and he gets an easy two.
Looked like no-look pass by Campbell. Looked to his right. Saw Lewis open under the basket on his left and made the quick hard pass, and Lewis finished it off.
Ulrichsen, a spinning push shot there. That's wide of the mark, no good. Lewis thought about the three, goes around the defender. On the left wing, it's Trey Kenny nailing the three.
It's contagious. Somebody starts making shots, and once the other guys see that it actually can go in, it starts happening. Bangor on a roll here with 9 unanswered points to open the second quarter.
9-0 run here for Bangor. Chance to add to it as Mount Ararat turns it over. Hughes to the lane. Lewis jumper. This will be good for 3. No. And the rebound to LaFountain. And the pass almost picked off by Lewis, but Shai Ulrichsen comes up with it. And he's going to fire up a 3, and he'll hit it. You can just see the defender, Ernie, kind of back on his heels just a little bit, fearing the drive by Ulrichsen, and he's so quick on that release.
That's exactly right. I mean, he's so quick with the dribble or without the dribble, and in that case, Bangor bought the dribble fake, and the next thing you know, it was in, but the answer by Alex Campbell.
No doubt about it, Campbell. He can get hot for the Rams. They lead it by 9. Ulrichsen, the drive, little floater, that's good. That's why the defense is on their heels.
Yeah, boy, these teams have opened up here, and we talked about how the game is sloppy when the ball's not going in. Well, it looks pretty crisp right now because both teams are making shots.
They have worked out the kinks offensively, and they're heating up here in the second quarter. Between the legs, Lewis a couple of times. Now out between the circles, it's Campbell looking for a screen from Adams. Doesn't get one. Goes to Lewis. Pull-up jumper left elbow. That's good. Rams are heating up here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, Rams 6 of 8 from the field here in the quarter.
Ulrichsen lost the basketball. Adams tried to knock it away from him, but got a piece of Shai Ulrichsen.
As your center, 35 feet away from the basket here on the previous play again. Lewis, with space created by the defense, having to respect the other three-point shooters for Bangor, gets a one-on-one situation that gets him to the free throw line. He's able to jump over any defender, just a physical presence at about 6'1". That jump shot's like a layup when it's going down.
Ulrichsen steps into the lane, flings up a shot, no good, but some contact, and Shai will be at the free throw line for 2.
Shai is not too shy about his offense, is he, Jim? but he's very good. And to remember, he's just a sophomore. Started last year as a freshman for Coach Aaron Watson and was an impact player, one of the best players on the court for his team. And he's taken on a certain leadership role here this year.
Flexes that right leg a little bit after making the first free throw. Good look at Ed Catal in the background there. Second year as the head coach for Bangor. Ulrichsen 2 for 2 at the line.
Ulrichsen now with 12 of Mount Ararat's 14 points here. So, I mean, it almost seems like a quiet 12, but 12 it is. It's come suddenly.
Campbell's three is short. Kenny, the offensive board, but did he foul in the process? Yes, indeed. Foul goes against Trey Kenny. That'll be his second and the fourth on the Rams here in the first half.
Yeah, the fourth on the Rams, just 2 on Mount Ararat so far through a quarter and a half. So pretty clean game defensively at least.
Here's Ulrichsen. Jumper is long here. Gonna rush that shot. And Bangor with the board. In the ball game, Liam Harrigan goes right side to Hughes. His jumper off the iron, no good, and the rebound to Carter. Here's the push by Ulrichsen. Tries to feed it off to Castonguay, but the pass is blocked, and the Rams again steal it away from the Eagles. Harrigan on the left corner. It's Campbell. Back up top to Harrigan. They look inside now for Adams, trying to back in against Griffin. Draws the defense, kick out right side in the corner for a three from Kenny, and that's no good. And Griffin with the rebound.
Pretty good patience by Bangor. You notice that when Adams gets the ball in the paint, he's as much likely to want to kick it back out for a three rather than take it himself.
Getting a quality shot here in this first half for Bangor has not been a problem. Got a foul here against the Rams. Their 15th foul. 2:45 left to go in the first half. Jim Churchill, along with Ernie Clark from the Bangor Daily News. We got a timeout on the floor. As the Rams huddle up across the way, and the Eagles.
60-second timeout called by Coach Ed Catala of the Bangor Rams. 21-14, 7-7 after the first quarter. So the offensives have definitely picked up. The game's become more open and more of a full court game rather than a half court game. And Bangor with the advantage so far, scoring 14 points in about 5 minutes after scoring just 7 over the first 8. We talk about transition defense being a key to the game for both teams. And in the second quarter, at least, Bangor's had the advantage. They've been able to get back defensively for the most part to limit Ulrichsen's dribble penetrations to the basket. He's had to settle for mostly jump shots, and he's been had mixed results. He is 2 for 4 here in the second quarter, 1 for 2 on three-pointers. Has scored the abundance of Mount Ararat's points. He scored 12 of their 14, but Bangor, and in particular Xavier Lewis, who's got the man-to-man defensive assignment against him, has certainly made the Mount Ararat sophomore work for everything he's got so far.
Two teams back on the floor. Bangor with a 7-point lead. Mount A will have the basketball. Comes into Griffin, the shot up. Will he get the roll? Yes, he will. Hung on the heel there of the basket. Finally went down through.
That's always supposed to happen for the home team, isn't it?
Mount Ararat will take it. They're down by just 5 here. Harrigan. Campbell was trying to post up against Crawford. Harrigan takes it to the lane, dishes right to Adams, shot up, no good. Connor battling for the rebound. Finally, it's going to be taken by Ulrichsen, goes behind his back. Got hit there a little bit, no foul. Harrigan, pull-up jumper inside the arc. That's off, no good. And we're going to get a foul here against Hughes, I believe, as he reached in against Castonguay.
A little bit of a frenzy there for both teams, and nothing coming of that. Here is
Mason
Griffin going up in traffic and getting the kind roll of the rim for a basket, his first of the game, to make it a 5-point contest.
Here's Ulrichsen getting a screen from Carter. Now the switch is made. Adams picked him up momentarily. Now Castonguay will try a three, no good, but there for the offensive rebound and putback is Griffin. And Mount A is within 3.
Castonguay says that was an assist.
Yeah, that comes from the Ernie Clark school of assists. They were rare.
Yeah.
They usually came in that fashion. There's a three by Hillier. He missed the mark a couple of times earlier in the ball game, but from the near corner, he drills that one. Big hoop there for Bangor as Mount A had the momentum. Good take here by Ulrichsen. And looks like we'll get a foul against Connor Adams.
Yeah, here's a nice look from the right wing by Xavier Lewis across to a wide open Andrew Hillier. And Hillier stayed true to his spot, waiting for the pass.
Great shot
there and knocked it down.
Free throw good by Ulrichsen. Great shot there by our crew. It was almost like we were Andrew Hillier waiting for that pass, looking into the eyes of Xavier Lewis.
I'm guessing our camera person would have taken the shot if it had gotten through. He did take the shot with the camera. Might have taken a shot with the ball.
Jay Baines working that camera position down at courtside. 24-20 now the score. Lewis goes down on the block to Adams. Backs in, little jump hook. Got good position there, did Connor Adams.
Took his time, as you mentioned, backed in, very deliberate about it, and then got to a spot where he could come up with a half hook, and there was no way to defend it, as Adams scores his second basket of the game.
Good spacing there by Bangor, giving Adams some room to work and able to avoid the double team. Here's a strip. No, Crawford gets it back for Mount A. Carter looking for help, gets it to Ulrichsen. Here's a very long three. That one in and out. And Adams with the board. 35 seconds left to go here in this first half. Lewis picked up by Ulrichsen. Now picks up his dribble. In a bit of a tough spot there, did Xavier, but did find Alex Campbell on the near side. Rams with a 6-point lead. Looks like they're going to go for the final shot here in this first half. 15 seconds left to go.
Bangor's got the defense pretty well spaced out. It's going to create a driving lane for somebody here, or perhaps for a drive and a pass. And there's Adams.
Now, great execution there by Bangor in the half court. Great execution, looking for that final shot, as you see right here.
Yep, Adams drifting to the basket as his defender was paying attention to Xavier Lewis, and Lewis spotted him for the pass. Wide open was Adams to get the basket, get fouled, and a chance to stretch his lead out before the intermission.
2.8 up on the clock. Adams cannot make the free throw. Ulrichsen, a shot from near midcourt, and that's going to be off the front of the rim. No good, and that will do it for the first half of action. Bangor will head to the locker room with a 28-20 lead over Mount Ararat. Sloppy first quarter, Ernie. Both teams started to heat up in the second quarter. Mount Ararat got it down to a single possession game. Good finish for the Rams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I don't want to say poorly, but as rough as the first quarter was for both teams, just a 7-7 tie. The second quarter was pretty high-quality basketball as both teams were able to get it into an offensive flow and make shots, and that's kind of what this game is all about. Bangor a little more successful getting back defensively to make Ulrichsen take tougher shots than the shots that Bangor was getting on its offensive end.
All right, well, we've got the halftime report coming up. We're going to have some highlights, some first half stats as well. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
Dean's Car Care is now Dean's Detailing. New name, new look, still the best. Since 1971, Dean's has served the greater Bangor area with quality and service. Renew your vehicle's appearance. Protect your auto investment. Call Dean's today, 945-3016, or book your appointment online at deansdetailing.com. Dean's gift cards are always the perfect fit for the holidays or any special occasion. At Dean's, we make used look like new.
Back at Redberry Gymnasium, as you can see, it's the Bangor Rams against the Mount Ararat Eagles. At the end of the first half, Bangor on top 28-20. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights in this Bangor game against Mount A here tonight. And For Mount Ararat, Shai Ulrichsen showing just about everything in his repertoire here tonight, Ernie.
Yeah, he's very quick with the dribble, and he's very quick with the release on his jump shot, and he's got 14 points here at the half out of Mount Ararat's 20, and it's about 50-50 between the drives to the basket and the long-range shots.
Bangor again got things going in the second quarter, and Xavier Lewis once again a big part of the Bangor offense.
Yeah, really using the mid-range game tonight, the 15-foot jump shots rather than the layups, which he struggled with early in the game against some taller defenders, and not too many three-point attempts, just a couple of three-point attempts early by Xavier Lewis, who has 9 points, 6 of them coming in the second period when Bangor kind of broke the game open a little bit.
Here's Lewis again, creating some difficulty for the defense, drawing the defense, and finding big Connor Adams down low.
Yeah, the jump shots that were falling earlier in the second quarter, both for him and Alex Campbell, forced the defense to come out farther away from the basket, and that creates lanes for people like Connor Adams to drift to the basket, and that's a perfect example of that right there as Lewis drew the double team. Adams wound up with a layup.
And our highlights here for the first half. Brought to you by Digital Workshop. Digital Workshop, simply the best. Well, we'll take another break here in the halftime report. When we come back, Ernie's been doing some ciphering off to my right here. He'll have the first half numbers. When we return, this is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
White Sporting Goods doesn't just help sports teams look their best. We help give businesses a professional edge when promoting themselves. Make your business and staff members stand out with our in-house screen printing and embroidery services. And nothing stands out more than your logo, business name, or slogan on a unique promotional item. White Sporting Goods can help your business stand out and get noticed. I'm Christy with White Sporting Goods. Call me today and I'll help your business look its best.
Want to remind you, while we have a second here, the Bangor Daily News, BDN Maine, is Maine's leader in news and information. Online, on your tablet or smartphone, and in print. Be sure to check out our 2-minute video recap of tonight's game on BangorDailyNews.com. We had a great following on our first broadcast, the Messalonski at Hamden game on Tuesday night. A lot of people... hundreds and hundreds of people listening, or watching, I should say, our live stream, and many of them watching the game on their mobile device.
Boy, technology is a wonderful thing. It enables me to calculate shooting percentages at halftime even, and I'm not a math person, so.
All right, well, let's show what math skills you have with the first half stats.
Okay, Bangor leading 28-20. The Rams fairly balanced in their scoring. Xavier Lewis leading the way with 9 points. Alex Campbell with 7, so there's your backcourt for Bangor, combining for 16 points in the first half. Connor Adams with 6 points, 3 apiece for Andrew Hillier and Trey Kenny for a total of 28 for Mount Ararat. Shai Ulrichsen leading the way with 14 of his team's 20 points. Mason Griffin with 4, Kevin Carter with 2. Mount Ararat shooting 7 of 21 for the field, 33%, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. That's 100% as far as my ciphering goes. For the Bangor Rams, 11 of 29 from the field, 38%, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, 75%. Bangor holding a 14-13 edge in rebounding, and the Rams forced Mount Ararat into 8 turnovers. Bangor committed just 3 in the first half, so not a ton of turnovers either way, but certainly the advantage there goes to the Bangor Rams, and part of the reason they're ahead by 8 points here at intermission.
And again, a very important game for both teams as they look to solidify their postseason positioning. Bangor coming in at number 4, riding a 6-game win streak. They're 11-4 on the season, and Mount Ararat 7-8 on the season. They've had some very big wins, record a little deceptive, as they've beaten the number 2, number 3, number 5, and number 6 teams, 4 teams ahead of them. And the only game that they were really blown out in was the game against the Hamden Academy Broncos, but they are beating up on a lot of folks here in this 2013-2014 season.
It doesn't matter if your tractor is colored red, blue, or green. At Greenway Equipment Sales, we have all the attachments to fit your machine, no matter what brand or model of compact tractor you drive.
Tillers, chippers, rotary cutters, loaders, backhoes.
quality implements from the most respected names in the business. When you need to get the job done, no matter what your tractor color, see the boys in green and yellow at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Back on the floor, Mount A on the front of their blue uniforms, trimmed in red and white. And the Bangor Rams across the way getting some final words from their head coach, Ed Catala, as they are wearing the home whites here tonight, trimmed in the cardinal.
It's funny, I've given people a hard time in the past for calling Mount Ararat Mount A and not giving them credit for their entire name, but I suppose if they're going to do it themselves, then why not the rest of us?
It's right there, right on the front of their blue uniforms here tonight. We'll hit the Sergeant Tyler and West starting lineups here in the second half in just a second, as Alex Campbell misses a 3 there, and the long board tracked down by Shai Ulrichsen. Crawford goes inside to Carter, working against Adams. Shot up, off, no good. Fight for the rebound. It's going to be won by Hillier. Here come the Rams. The push by Campbell. And he's going to lose the basketball, get tipped from behind. Carter came up with it. Crawford will fire up a shot and hit. That's going to be a 2. I believe his right foot was on that three-point line. So a good start here in the second half for Mount A. They trail it by 6. Out top, Lewis. Bounces it right side to Campbell, skips it to the left corner. Here's a shot up by Hillier. He's found the range. Second 3 in the game for Andrew Hillier.
Bangor passing over the top of the 2-3 zone there. Alex Campbell from the right wing over to Andrew Hillier, who's got a spot on that left wing, and now he's knocked down 2 3-pointers.
Crawford going to try another one from that wing. That's no good. Rising high is Adams to rip down the board. Outlet goes to Campbell. Near side, it's Lewis for 3. That one rims out, no good. Ball kept alive by Smith. Hillier goes up for the shot, and he is blocked from behind by Ulrichsen.
Getting good work on the weak side there by Andrew Hillier as we see the long pass from the right wing to the left to Andrew Hillier. Quick release on the left-handed shot, and his second 3-pointer of the game.
Hillier's going to try another one. His third 3 in the game. His first 2 shots, Ernie, really didn't come that close, but he's 3 for 3 in his last 3 attempts. A little scoop shot there is missed by Demosthenes. Campbell from the corner, no good, and the rebound tracked down by Carter. He got poked in the face there by Smith, but appears to be okay. 3 by Ulrichsen. He's going to get the roll. Got kind of a different looking launch there on his shot.
It's a push shot, and I think it comes from probably shooting long range as a very small kid and having to use your entire body to muscle it up. And he's kind of kept that shot, and he's got a quick enough releases such that he's able to get away with it.
Hillier, right baseline, misfires there, right into the hands of Adams though, and he'll get the bucket and 1.
Adams quick around the basket. There he is, just working his way over the top of the defender. They almost expect him to go farther into the lane and then come up with that baby hook. That time he just went straight up after taking one dribble, and 8 points on the game for the senior center.
Kind of push shot. I can just see you with the left hand. If they'd had the 3 back when you played, that you would have kind of been that type of
I shot like there
shooter.
was 3.
Here's Adams running the floor, goes up for the shot. He's hit by Ulrichsen, slams into the padding. Connor appears to be okay, and he's going to be at the line for 2 free throws. As you saw right there, Adams' ability to run the floor.
Yeah, he's beating everybody down the court to the point where Mount Ararat, their point guard, is trying to catch him from behind, and all Ulrichsen could do is commit his first foul of the game and make Adams earn his 2 at the free throw line.
Bangor has pushed the lead to 11 as Castleton into the lineups. Let's give you the Sergeant Tyler and West lineups right here. Jordan Castleton coming in for Aaron Watson. He's out there with Mason Griffin and Shai Ulrichsen, Kevin Carter, and Mike Crawford. The lineup for Mount A. Justin Smith's going to check out for Bangor. So for the Rams out on the floor, Xavier Lewis, Alex Campbell, Andrew Hillier, Trey Kenny, and Connor Adams. Again, our lineups brought to you by Sargent, Tyler, and West. The coverage you need and the service you deserve. Sargent, Tyler, and West in Bangor. Here's Ulrichsen taking it to the paint and trying to dish off to his left to LaFountain, who wasn't quite ready for that delivery from Shy.
That's certainly one thing. Is if you're a teammate of Shy Ulrichsen, you better be ready at any time because he will get you the ball. He looks for his offense quite a bit, but he will get you the ball. And LaFountain was in a position where he was going to have a high percentage shot, but just wasn't ready for the pass.
Because he is so central in the offense, Hillier misses the three here. Rebound by Ulrichsen. Just going to say, because he is so central and has the ball so much, there probably is a tendency by some of his teammates to kind of spectate a little bit. Here's a steal by Lewis, uses the left hand for two.
Yeah, nice move there. First with the steal, blocked the pass by Ulrichsen in the front court, took it, went the distance, and then with Ulrichsen there in front of him, switched hands and went to the left side, and it looked pretty easy.
Strong move there by Griffin. He doesn't get the hoop, but he'll end up the line for two. Here's the bucket by Lewis. Nice job there of using the left hand, protecting the basketball, and picking up 2 points.
Yeah, Ulrichsen made the natural assumption that Lewis was going to go to a strong hand to the right, but Lewis dipped his shoulder and went the other way, and nothing Ulrichsen could do defensively about it.
Mount A down by 13 halfway through the third quarter. They need every free throw they can get. A miss there by Griffin. The second shot is up, and it is good. So that makes it a 12-point contest. Bangor asserting itself in the second and so far in the third quarters after struggling to a 7-7 tie at the end of the first quarter. Lewis gets around Crawford, goes to Kenny, drives the left baseline. Hillier open for three, near corner, it's good. Andrew Hillier coming to life in this one for Bangor.
Yeah, that time Trey Kenny with the penetration along the baseline drew the defense to him, and that left Hillier again wide open in the corner, and he knocks down another long-range shot.
Ulrichsen, very slippery, shifty, got to the paint there. Drew the contact, threw up the shot. So he'll be at the line for 2 free throws.
He is listed at 5'10", and I'm not sure that he's 5'10". If he gets to 5'11" or 6 feet, he's going to be even more dangerous than he is now, because that's the only thing that really works against him is as a sophomore, he's not all that big yet.
Gets the first one, the second one, nothing but net. 13-point deficit for Mount A. Jim Churchill along with Ernie Clark from the Bangor Daily News. Great crew here tonight. Kim Mitchell producing this one. Sam Hallett directing. Alan Brownwell working the replays. Here's Adams missing. Flying in is Lewis. His shot is up and off. But a foul against Mount A, and Lewis will be at the line for 2 free throws.
Again, the defensive attention turns to Connor Adams as he's working the ball patiently and slowly in the post, and that creates opportunities for offensive rebounds, and Xavier Lewis flying through the air for that one.
And Lewis gets the first free throw. Camera crew here tonight. Will Saunders working camera 1. Jay Baines, number 2. Alicia Coffin on camera number 3. We got 4 views of Redberry Gym here tonight. Buzzer sounds after the make by Lewis to make it a 15-point Bangor lead, and LaFountain will depart for Coach Watson. And coming into the ball game, Joe Thomas, a 6'3" senior. And Lewis picks the pocket of Ulrichsen. Xavier takes it home.
Yeah, Lewis kind of imposing his will a little bit on Ulrichsen in recent moments.
4-shot there by Shy Ulrichsen. Fortunate for him and the Eagles, they come up with the basketball. Jumper from the free throw line by Mason Coffin, no good, and a miss at the offensive end for Alex Campbell. Mason Griffin, I should say, for Mount A. Here's a 3 attempt by Crawford, no good, tries to save it in, does, but I guess he didn't save it in as Adams let the basketball bounce as it hit the end line. And it's going to be Ram basketball. When we come back after we look at this highlight by Xavier Lewis, as it was after the steal, and he laid it in for 2 points. Let's take a quick break here. 45-28, Bangor on top. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
Your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life. Hiring a professional videographer with an eye for detail will capture all of the emotion of the day, your special moments and precious memories from start to finish.
Back at Redberry Gym, good look at Redberry Gymnasium. Two teams huddled up. Bangor a big 17-point lead. They have advanced that lead here in this third quarter. We'll remind you that this game brought to you in part by Greenway Equipment. For John Deere sales and service, it's Greenway Equipment. With 2 locations in Bangor and Ellsworth, check out the website at greenwayequipment.com and be sure to visit the Greenway Equipment Facebook page. Nothing runs like a Deere. Great to have you with us for this Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week. Live at BangorDailyNews.com. Again, the replay of this one on TWC TV, Channel 9 across the state of Maine. 8 o'clock is the replay time for this game between Bangor and Mount Ararat. Another drive there by Xavier Lewis. Can't get the 2, but he'll end up at the line for a couple.
At this point, Xavier Lewis could pretty much get anything he wants offensively because Bangor has established the 3-point shot. And in the first half, Lewis and Campbell in particular established the mid-range jump shot as well. So I don't think at this point the the Mount Ararat defenders know quite what to focus on in terms of what to take away. And lately it's been the jump shot, so Lewis has been going to the basket.
Miss on the second by Xavier. Rebound to Thomas. Here's Ulrichsen working the left side, goes around Lewis. Tries a little reverse move there, and he's going to be nicked, and will toe the line once again for 2 more. Ernie, this Bangor team, again, it appears that Hampden Academy is head and shoulders above the rest of the field. You never know what can happen once the dance gets underway, but this Bangor team, again, playing some of their best basketball here late in the season. If they can get Hunter Boyce back, which they should before the tournament, and there's a chance they get Garrett Johnson back. Trey Kenny, Andrew Hillier, Ben Hughes getting a lot of playing time here, which will prime them for the postseason. This Bangor team could cause some trouble.
Well, they've got the 2 guards. Guard play is so important in postseason play, and they've got in Xavier Lewis and Alex Campbell 2 of the better guards in Eastern Maine. They are able to control the game by themselves a lot of times.
Another no-look pass there by Campbell, threading the needle. Good catch by Adams, up and in for 2.
And that was a perfect example because Campbell controlled the play off the dribble at the top of the key. Connor Adams knows where to be to accept a pass, and when the defense focuses their attention on the Bangor guards, there's all kinds of opportunities for the other role players. There's Campbell drawing the defense to him, flipping to Adams, who made a nice weak side cut to the low post, and Adams gets another layup.
Yeah, 2 seniors connecting there, and you can see they played a lot of basketball together. A lot of big men wouldn't be looking for that pass, but Adams was in the right spot again. Made a nice catch and straight up for 2 points. This one is getting away from Mount A.
Yeah, Adams now with 11 to go with 14 for Lewis and 11 for Hillier and 7 for Campbell, so pretty balanced attack.
Carter's shot, no good. Griffin on the weak side, can't get it to go. Gets it back, he'll try it once more with the left and get 2. Persistence paying off there for Griffin and the Eagles.
Badly needed basket here. They've been getting outscored pretty significantly here in the third quarter.
Still plenty of time. There's 9 minutes left to go in the ball game. Adams in a pickle, gets it to Kenny on the far side. Bangor spreading the floor. Good job there by Lewis, trying to settle things down. Kenny ends up with a wide open 3, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, Adams put back no good. Here is Kenny with an offensive board, keeping it alive. Hillier will try another three. That's off no good, and the rebound finally taken by Mount Ararat.
Plenty of chances for the Rams there. Good work on the offensive boards, but coming up empty on that possession.
Ulrichsen, we haven't heard much from him recently, and he misses another shot. Bangor doing a nice job harassing Shai Ulrichsen and making things tough for him in this game tonight.
Yeah, Lewis just a tough defensive matchup for Ulrichsen. You watch them there on the screen, and senior against a sophomore and just physically bigger is Xavier Lewis than Shai Ulrichsen.
Yeah, I think the difficulty for Ulrichsen against Lewis is he can match him in athleticism and quickness, and then you add in that size that Xavier having a pretty good night here tonight against the talented sophomore. Connor Adams is going to end up at the line for two. Here's the left-handed shot by Mason Griffin.
His second offensive rebound in that sequence, so that was just hard work rewarded for the Mount Ararat Eagles.
Good look at Connor Adams, senior for the Rams, hits the first free throw. Working hard here tonight for Coach Ed Katala. Second one is good. And stepping into the lane is Connor Adams. Can't get the shot to go, and the buzzer will sound as the inbounds pass stolen by Adams. Could not get the bucket just before the buzzer as it sounds here at Red Berry, ending the third quarter. After three here at Bangor High School, the Rams in control. They lead it by 18. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week on BDN Maine.
Dean's Car Care is now Dean's Detailing. New name, new look, still the best. Since 1971, Dean's has served the greater Bangor area with quality and service. Renew your vehicle's appearance. Protect your auto investment. Call Dean's today, 945-3016, or book your appointment online at deansdetailing.com. Dean's gift cards are always the perfect fit for the holidays or any special occasion. At Dean's, we make used look like new.
Back at Bangor High, this game tonight brought to you by Sergeant Tyler & West. Sergeant Tyler & West has been providing insurance coverage for individuals and business owners across the state of Maine since 1869. Call 992-5200 or visit stwinsurance.com for all your insurance needs. At Sergeant Tyler & West, the coverage you need and the service you deserve. Eagles and Rams on the floor as we get set for the fourth quarter. Bangor was tied with Mount A after the first quarter. 7-7 was our score. They led it 28-20 at the half, and they extended the lead to 18 at the end of three quarters. Rams with it. They look inside to Adams. He's triple team momentarily, but the defense backs away, and Adams felt some space and put it off the window for 2 points.
Again, the Eagles so worried about the perimeter shooters that what was a triple team became a single team, and Adams capitalized on that opportunity.
After a miss by Shai Ulrichsen, Adams' outlet pass deflected into the Mount A bench.
Again, there's the power game of Connor Adams. Initially 3 defenders in the area, and 2 of them backed away, and that left Adams one-on-one.
3 ball up and off, no good there by Campbell. Rebound to Crawford. He almost lost it across the sideline, saved it in to Carter. Here's Ulrichsen, the drive, scoop shot. That one rolls off, no good. And the offensive rebound by Carter. He picks up 2.
In a good position there. Inside position against the Bangor defenders. Fairly easy play for Carter.
And Bangor, sensing some momentum for Connor Adams down low, goes back to him as the shot blocked. Mount A came away with it, but Ulrichsen could not get the finger roll to go at the offensive end. Acrobatic, creative move there by Campbell. Shot no good. Rebound to Trey Kenny.
Foul on Trey Kenny as well as he pulled the ball away, I believe, from Carter. A couple of acrobatic plays at both ends. The first by Ulrichsen and then by Campbell, and neither one of them rewarded as the defense has forced them to take a unorthodox shot in both cases.
Lewis got a brief break. He's back in for the Rams. Ben Hughes checking out. Inside they go to Carter, and a miss there by The big man for Mount A, kind of a forced shot. Mount A running out of time in this one. They're down by 18. And Bangor doing a pretty good job defensively here tonight. That's been something that Ed Quatala has emphasized. That's been the one consistent part of this Bangor team throughout the year. They've played pretty good defense.
Really has, and then in their 6-game winning streak, they've been allowing 43.8 points a game. And they're right on pace for allowing that tonight.
Kenny, a 3-ball, off no good, but Connor Adams, offensive rebound. Bangor will reset in the half court. Once Hilliard tracks down the loose basketball, he hands it off to Campbell. Hilliard gets it back. Lewis thought about the 3, drives to the lane, bounce pass down around the ankles of Kenny. That's a tough one for Trey. And it glances off his leg out of bounds.
Yeah, unselfish play by Lewis, who probably could have pulled up at the free throw line for his own shot, but tried to seek out a teammate for a better shot. Just didn't work.
Floater by Ulrichsen. He uses the window for 2 points.
His first field goal of the second half.
That's a 16-point deficit. Lewis has his pass picked by Ulrichsen, who fires it to the other end, hustling down for Mount A and saving it in. Good effort there by Demosthenes, but Adams was there to pick up the save, and now a rattle in and out on an offering by Alex Campbell. Ahead it goes to Demosthenes. He lays it in. Long bounce pass there by Shai Ulrichsen.
And here we go. There's Ulrichsen. Bounce passing it about 60 feet through the defense, just past Alex Campbell to Demosthenes for a layup. That's a heck of a pass. A high-risk pass, no doubt, but Ulrichsen saw the opening and threaded the needle.
Good look there at the Mount A huddle. Now the Bangor huddle at the opposite end. Ulrichsen, one of those basketball players who he is working hard, but he doesn't really look like he's working hard. I don't know if
he's... He kind of picks his spots. He's so quick that it doesn't look, as you mentioned, all that hard.
He makes it look easy, I guess, is what I'm saying.
At times, and then he gets into a traffic situation, and it becomes a little more difficult just because he's not the biggest kid in the world yet, but you can definitely see the talent there in the sophomore.
Mount A has it down to a 14-point deficit, 5:20 left to go. Campbell takes it in, kicks it out to Lewis. He's up with the left hand, and it's no good. Rebound to Carter. Little run here for the Eagles. Ulrichsen, crossover dribble, kicks it back to Crawford, and that one rolls off. Carter offensive rebound, goes up for the shot, and a foul from behind. He's going to put Carter at the line. This one getting a little more interesting here over the last minute and a half.
Yeah, Bangor maybe rushing a shot or two on a couple of possessions, and really some strong inside work by Kevin Carter to extend plays, and in this case, get to the line.
Mount A is going to need those free throws, though, and Carter misses one there. Hillier out of the ball game for Bangor. Hughes back in. Carter spins the basketball, dips, fires, and misses. So he goes 0 for 2 at the line after the great effort on the offensive rebound. And we got a whistle and a timeout called by Bangor. Ed Quatala wants to draw something up on the whiteboard across the way.
Yeah, just as much as to draw up a particular play, probably just to kind of slow the Rams down a little bit. We mentioned a couple of rush shots maybe on the last couple of possessions. When you're armed with a 14 or 16-point lead, you're not necessarily in a huge hurry to score. You just as soon run a little time off the clock and go for the high percentage shot. That philosophy got away from him for a little bit, so Ed Quatala, the veteran coach at the high school and college level, called the timeout just to settle his players down.
We are live tonight at BangorDailyNews.com. Again, the replay of this one on TWC TV, Channel 9 at 8 o'clock. The Bangor Daily News, BDN Maine, presents innovative journalism, entertaining and informative events and seminars, opinion that goes beyond the obvious, and comprehensive sports coverage every day at BangorDailyNews.com. Again, we'll have a 2-minute video recap of tonight's affair between Bangor and Mount Ararat. You're right, Aaron. I've been tempted so many times here tonight to call them Messalonsky because they have the same combination of colors in their uniform.
I'd hate to have to do a game between the two of them. I don't know if I'd ever get them right. But
well, you'd have a 50-50 chance.
Yeah,
anyway.
there you go.
52-38. Coach Catala. And Shore in that timeout, emphasizing time and score. 4.5 minutes left to go, and a pretty sizable lead here for his team. They want good shots. They get a pretty good shot there by Hughes, but it's blocked by Mount Ararat, and then Hughes lost it out of bounds, so Mount A will have it. Yeah. 4:27 up on the clock.
Good offensive play run by the Rams, just better defense by Mount Ararat in that case.
Working it around the arc is Mount A. Now they go inside to Carter. Drop step move, left-handed shot, no good. Weak side rebound to Kenny. And he's going to be fouled in backcourt.
A couple empty trips in a row for the Mount Ararat offense. Have scored 6 in a row here early in the fourth quarter, now at the midpoint almost. And 2 missed free throws 2 possessions ago, and a good drop step move by Carter that went unrewarded there, and now Bangor back at the free throw line, and all that hard work maybe going for naught.
Trey Kenny misses the front end. Offensive rebound, though, to Lewis. Dishes to Kenny coming down the lane, and a foul by Ulrichsen. Mentioned on Tuesday nights, again live at BangorDailyNews.com. We'll be right back here at Redberry Gym as the Lawrence Bulldogs come to town. A 1-point win over Bangor earlier this year down in Fairfield, and it'll be kind of odd looking at that Lawrence bench and not seeing their longtime coach there.
Yeah, 28 or 29 years for Mike McGee until he finally retired. Jason Pellerin's been an assistant for McGee on the boys' side, and as a former varsity girls coach, has taken over this year. And you might make the case that Lawrence is surprising in the sense that they're around 500, a little bit over 500, with heavy graduation losses and the transfer of Xavier Lewis from Lawrence back to Bangor. I don't think expectations were high for the Bulldogs, but they're looking at battling for a playoff spot.
Nice interior move there by Griffin, but his shot is blocked out of bounds.
And there's Adams emphatically with both hands. I think he knew what was coming.
It's like a volleyball block there by Connor Adams. And a couple of shots there from Mount A. The second one drops down through the cylinder, so it's back down to a 14-point deficit. Mount A with a little bit of pressure in backcourt. Bangor breaks it. Adams going to the hole, gets clobbered there by Thomas. Check that. Demosthenes with the foul.
Is that Demosthenes scoring the basket? I can't tell for sure.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Adams at the free throw line, and his first shot is good. We've seen Bangor a few times, and here tonight, certainly one of the better games for Connor Adams. And seniors for Bangor, like Adams and Campbell and Xavier Lewis. As you mentioned, Lewis was playing for Lawrence last year, but they've played a lot together, and once you start getting down to, there's a walk by Griffin. As a high school basketball player, you get down to game number 16, next Tuesday at 17, they finish up next Friday. You can see the career kind of coming to an end, and you want to make the best of it.
Yeah, the sense of urgency heightens a bit, and while there is a tomorrow in terms of tonight's game, it won't be long before there will be no tomorrow in terms of the high school basketball career. And Bangor seemingly well armed to take on that challenge again with the senior nature of their guards. In Alex Campbell and Xavier Lewis, you've got 2 kids that were both all conference picks a year ago and are back together this year. And certainly they will be a tough out just based on the guard play alone. And if the other role players are able to do their thing, you see Connor Adams doing it tonight. You see Hillier with the 3-point shots, and Kenny and Smith with the intangibles inside. Bangor's got a chance to continue this winning streak for a while.
Adams 2 for 2 at the line. His solid night continues, and the Ram lead is back up to 18. In control here against Mount Ararat, and a steal there by Lewis. Up ahead it goes to Campbell, ahead of the pack. He'll lay it up and in with the left hand. Ulrichsen was there, but Campbell went on the opposite side of the hoop, used the left hand, and a big lead now for Bangor. They lead it by 20.
Yeah, Mount Ararat got it to 14, had 2 possessions to get it closer, couldn't do it. And when you don't get those possessions while you're trailing, sooner or later the team that's been ahead for a reason is going to make you pay.
Well, we talked about it with Coach Ed Cattell in the pregame coaches interview. We've talked about it here in the booth during the game, but the senior leadership in Adams, Campbell, and Lewis really stepping up in this one for Bangor with some solid help from players like Andrew Hillier, but the big 3 really providing some strong leadership here tonight for Bangor.
Yeah.
Speaking of strong, there's a strong move there by Mason Griffin.
21 points unofficially now for Connor Adams, one of his, if not the biggest offensive output of the season for the senior center.
Averaging around 11, 12 points coming into this one. Ball knocked out of bounds there by Mount A.
And he is probably double figures on the rebounding end as well. And good move there by Mason Griffin, using every opportunity to advance a half step and got it to fall.
Collision in the lane. Ball's going to be lost out of bounds by Lewis. Good look at the floor. Those shots going up at the hoop. You see all the state championship banners in the background for Bangor High School. Ulrichsen directing traffic.
Bangor in a 1-3 zone right now, knowing that Mount Ararat probably needs the 3-point shots.
This one is fired up by Crawford. He hits. Aaron Watson, the coach for Mount A, has loosened his shirt collar and his tie. Sensing this one getting away from his team. He's been coaching hard on the sideline. There's a steal by Mount A. Here comes Ulrichsen driving against Lewis. Shot off the window, no good. Rebound to Hughes for Bangor, and a foul in backcourt on Crawford, I believe.
Bangor's done a really good job here in the second half of taking Ulrichsen out of the game. There's a pass to Crawford from Griffin at the high post for a 3-pointer, as Mount Ararat converted on consecutive possessions, but just 1 field goal for Ulrichsen here in the first half after he scored 14 in the first half. Does have 4 free throws here since intermission, and now the benches are going to clear.
Substitutions coming in.
But Bangor defensively giving up just the 45 points, and Ulrichsen winds up with 20 as he, I believe, takes a seat. But really, other than a spurt midway through the first half, Bangor did a decent job, not only of limiting his offense, but limiting his ability to get other players involved, and that's a big reason that the Rams are up 18, and with 1 minute and 23 seconds left, look on their way to their 7th consecutive victory.
Coming in for the Bangor Rams, 00, Nick Ashe, number 12, Jake Bowen, number 22, Nate Caruso, number 24, Carl Gershik, and waiting to come in for the shooter Hughes is Liam Harrigan. Get to the Mount A substitutions here as Harrigan comes in. On the floor now for Mount A, Liam Brannigan, as Hawk Anderson will check with the scorers table. Also out there, Zach Curtis for Coach Watson. Zach Garvey on the floor as well. Avery Desjardins on the floor for Mount A. And Joe Thomas out there for the Eagles as well. I almost went into my hockey Desjardins. Which it might be, but I'm going to guess it's Desjardins. And Thomas is going to be at the line for Mount A. Coming up in the post-game show, we'll have the stats of the game. We'll also have some highlights from what appears to be a Bangor victory. And we'll also talk with our player of the game as well. You thought of who that might be? Mr. Clark, tough choice.
Couple of options, no doubt. Looking at Bangor, I'd have to say probably it'd come down to either Xavier Lewis or Connor Adams tonight.
Missed there by Mount A. They get it back, and firing up a shot again is Liam Brannigan. That's wide of the mark.
Andrew Hillier had his moments early on with some clutch perimeter shooting and Trey Kenny with a lot of the little things inside as well as some offense of his own. And Alex Campbell, always a presence on the court for the Rams. I'm thinking about Xavier Lewis as much for the defense against Ulrichsen.
Here's a ball tipped out of bounds. It's going to be off Bangor.
But I can be convinced otherwise. Connor Adams really provided the defense and rebounding, and tonight stepped up as a finisher himself on the offensive end. And when he's working on the inside to go with the perimeter shooting that Bangor has, they're a tough team to stop.
Misfire there from Mount A. 20 seconds up on the clock here at Redberry Gym, and the Rams will salt away their 12th win of the season against just 4 losses. Again, they lost big to Hamden twice. They lost by 1 point to Lawrence and 2 points to Messalonsky, that's right. And the buzzer sounds, and this one is over. As again, Bangor improves to 12-4 on the season. Mount A falls to 7-9. You done all of your calculating there, Ernie?
Well,
close to it.
I had to wait till the game ended at least to, but I'm getting there very, very quickly.
Well, we'll remind you once again, our next game on BangorDailyNews.com, our Sportsnet Main game of the week will be Tuesday right here from Redberry Gymnasium when the Bangor Rams play host to the Lawrence Bulldogs in a rematch of that 1-point Lawrence win over Bangor earlier this season. Coming into tonight's action, Hamden on top in the heel points at 15-0, Oxford Hills second at 10-5, Edward Little third at 9-6, Bangor was fourth at 11-4, now 12-4. Messalonsky was 11-5 coming into tonight's action. Brunswick number 6 at 10-5. Mount A came in number 7. They fall now to 7-9. Coney 6-10, and then it's Lawrence number 9 coming in. As Ernie continues with his calculations here. Again, coming up, we've got the player of the game. We'll talk with the player of the game, and we've got some highlights as well. Ernie, you got the numbers?
I do. Bangor winning this game by the count of 64-45. First for the Bangor Rams, leading the way. Connor Adams, 21 points, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Unofficially, 11 rebounds. Pretty solid all-around effort for him. Xavier Lewis added 14 points for the Rams. Andrew Hillier with 11 for Coach Ed Catala's club. Alex Campbell with 9. Trey Kenny with 5, and Ben Hughes with a pair of free throws for 2, for what I believe is a total of 64. For the Mount Ararat Eagles, Shai Ulrichsen wound up with 23 points, including 8 for 8 from the free throw line, and 3 3-pointers. 14 of those came in the first half. Was held without a field goal in the third quarter as Bangor kind of opened up the game at that point. 9 points for Mason Griffin, 5 for Mike Crawford, 4 apiece for Jake Demosthenes and Kevin Carter for their total of 45.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Ernie. Job well done here tonight. I know you've got some work to do for the Bangor Daily News. And again, coming up, we'll have our player of the game interview, and we'll also have some highlights from this Bangor victory. We'll be back with more of the post-game show. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
It doesn't matter if your tractor is colored red, blue, or green. At Greenway Equipment Sales, we have all the attachments to fit your machine, no matter what brand or model of compact tractor you drive.
Tillers, chippers, rotary cutters, loaders, backhoes.
Quality implements from the most respected names in the business. When you need to get the job done, no matter what your tractor color, see the boys in green and yellow at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life. Hiring a professional videographer with an eye for detail will capture all of the emotion of the day, your special moments and precious memories from start to finish.
Good look at Redberry Gymnasium here at Bangor High School. Jim Churchill with you on the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week as we have hit the post-game show. Bangor victorious here tonight over the Mount Ararat Eagles by a score of 64-45. Let's look at some of the highlights in this one here tonight. Again, kind of a tough first quarter for both teams. They started to heat it up, and Bangor got things going offensively. Great no-look pass there from Alex Campbell to the big guy, Connor Adams, down low, and he puts it off glass for 2 points. As a solid effort here tonight for Connor Adams and the Bangor Rams. Here's that long bounce pass that we saw from Shai Ulrichsen up court to Demosthenes, and he laid it in for 2 points as Mount A tried to stay within striking distance here tonight against the Rams, but Bangor just too much, as we see Trey Kenny feeding Connor Adams down low once again, getting great position. Little jump hook there by big number 54, and he puts it home as he led the Rams to a victory here tonight. We'll take another timeout, and when we come back, we'll talk with our player of the game as Connor Adams makes his way up here to our broadcast position. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
Choosing the right school for driver's ed has never been more important. Northeast Auto and Cycle School has been the leader in driver training since 1969. Greater Bangor's #1 team of instructors are experienced, professional, and caring. Northeast offers a variety of weekday and weekend courses. The motorcycle permit course at Northeast is taught by passionate riders committed to safety. Call 942-1769 or sign up at northeastautocycle.com.
Back at Redberry Gymnasium, Jim Churchill, the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week. This is the post-game show, and it's time now to talk with our player of the game. And our player of the game here tonight is Connor Adams, number 54 for the Bangor Rams. And Connor, 7 straight wins for your team. We were talking off air. Looks like you're playing some of your best basketball down the stretch here as you head into the postseason.
Yep, we want a good spot for the tournament. We want to get that 2nd seed, so we're coming out with good defense, and it's paying off for us.
Obviously tonight going up against Shai Ulrichsen, a talented sophomore. He scored 44 against Edward Little. He got 23 here tonight, but he had to put up a lot of shots to get that 23. You guys played him pretty well defensively.
Yeah, we had X on him, who was probably by far our best defender, and forced him to take a lot of hard shots.
Just talk about the 2 seniors you play, the 2 senior guards, Alex Campbell, Xavier Lewis, who also played great here tonight. Could have been candidates or were candidates for a player of the game, but just what they do for you, creating space for you down low.
They're great point guards. Everyone has to respect them, so teams load up on them, and then it gets the open guy a shot.
We talked about it late in the ball game. Obviously, you've got 2 regular season games left in your high school basketball career, and then it's down to the Augusta Civic Center. You starting to think about some of the final games for your Bangor Ram career?
Yeah, it's close, and it's time to cherish everything.
All right. Okay. Well, good luck down the stretch. Thanks for joining us here in the postgame show.
Thank you.
All right, that's Connor Adams of the Bangor Rams, our player of the game here tonight. As we put the wraps on this one, again, victory number 12 on the season for the Bangor Rams. They improved to 12-4. The loss from Mount A sets them back to 7-9, but both teams certainly in the postseason picture in Eastern Maine Class A. And again, this game will be replayed on TWC TV, Channel 9, Monday night at 8 o'clock across the state of Maine. And our next game here at BangorDailyNews.com, Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week, will be Tuesday night, 7 o'clock tip-off between the Lawrence Bulldogs and the Bangor Rams. Before we go, I want to thank our great crew here for this broadcast tonight. Kim Mitchell producing the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week, Sam Hallett directing, Alan Brownwell on the replays, and our camera crew, Alicia Coffin, Will Saunders, and Jay Baines, and of course my broadcast partner here tonight, Ernie Clark from the Bangor Daily News. I'm Jim Churchill saying so long from Redberry Gymnasium. The final once again, Bangor 64, Mount Ararat 45. This has been the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.